Hey everyone, in this video I'll be unboxing the Nintendo Switch OLED. I bought this from Amazon.com and it was on special for 488 Australian dollars. So this was reduced by $50. I ordered this yesterday and it just arrived today in the mail. So let's go ahead and unbox it in this video. So before we unbox the Nintendo Switch OLED, let's just take a look around the box. So we have the Nintendo Switch with the Joycons and the Switch dock. On this side, it just tells you what you get included with the inside the box. This side just says Nintendo Switch. On the top, Nintendo, and on the back it just tells you different stand modes. You got the TV mode, tabletop mode, and the handheld mode. Let's go ahead and open it. So we have the OLED Switch screen. We also have the Joycon. As you can see, I got the color version. You can also get the white color version. So it's just important information. In here we just have the HDMI cable. We also have the charger, and in here we have the controller, and down here we have the dock. Here it is. And that's all in the box. So let's just unwrap the Nintendo Switch. So this is the screen. Left controller. Right controller. So here's the Nintendo Switch OLED. As you can see on the front, we have a 7-inch OLED display. With a resolution of 1280 by 720, and on the side we have the left rail. This is where you will slide in your left Joy-Con. On the bottom here we have these little 2 holes. This is used to line up with the Nintendo dock, and we have a USB-C charging port. On the other side, same thing, we have the right hand side rail for the right hand controller or Joy-Con, and on the top we have the power button, volume up and down. This is the fan exhaustion. We have a headphone jack and the game card, and on the back we have Nintendo Switch, and we have a kickstand here. And here we have a micro SD card slot. I'll just show you quickly the Joy-Cons. So this is the left Joy-Con. So we have our joystick, our minus button, directional pads. This is a screenshot button. And this is the rails. So this is where you will slide into the switch with left and right shoulder triggers. This button just tells you the battery percentage, and on the top we have L and LZ shoulder triggers. and this is the button to release the Joy-Cons from the Switch. So that's the left hand side, and the right hand side is very similar, except the buttons are kind of the opposite direction. So we have the joystick, your ABYX button, plus your home button, your shoulder buttons. This button tells you the battery percentage, and up here we got your Z, R and R shoulder triggers, and the button on the back to release the Joy-Con. Something we have here that the other Joy-Con doesn't is a sensor. I believe it's a motion sensor. So back to the Switch, I'll just show you quickly how to put these on. So you just line up with the rails, and all you do is just slide them in. So same thing with the old Switches, and just like that. And if you just want to release them, all you have to do is hold this button here, and then you can just slide them out. Let's go ahead and power this on. Let's go ahead and set it up. So English, and we are in Australia. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and quickly connect it to my Wi-Fi. Alright, now it's asking we have to detach the Joy-Cons, and it kind of tells you how. We'll quickly do that. So the right one. Alright, so use left stick to select next, and press A on the right controller. Use console with Joy-Con controls attached or detached. Choose the control style you prefer. These will be added. Okay. Alright, my Switch is all been set up, so let's press the home button. And there you go. So next thing I want to show you is the Nintendo Switch dock. As you can see, well, it's a bit different from the old Switch dock, which I'll show you later on in this video. So as you can see down here, we have the insert to put the Switch in. So you got those two little nubs on either side, and the USB-C port in the middle. So this is where you can line up the Switch with the dock easily without scratching it. On the side here we have two USB Type A ports, and on the back here is a little compartment we will remove. As you can see, this just detaches from the dock. So we have the AC adapter, HDMI out, and something new is the LAN port, which you can connect to your Switch via Ethernet. And to close it up, it's really easy. You just close it like that. We also have included with the Switch is this Nintendo Switch controller. So what you can do is you take these Joy-Cons and you just slide them in like this. So similar to the last Nintendo Switches, you can use these as a controller. So one of the biggest new feature with the Nintendo Switch is obviously the OLED. So with the OLED, it's now more, or the colors are more pop. They pop out a lot more. They're more vibrant. I don't know in terms of brightness if it's brighter or not, but I'm going to assume it is. So, and obviously if you compare it to an LCD screen or display, obviously this just completely beats the LCD. If you ever seen, or if you ever have like an Android or an iPhone with an OLED display and compare it to LCD, obviously the OLED just destroys the LCD in every single way, like in terms of vibrancy, saturation. It just the colors just pop out a lot more. And also you can also see that now this is a 7-inch display compared to the old Switch, which is a 6.2-inch display. So obviously they've reduced the bezel quite a lot, which is good. So the Switch is the screen is a lot bigger. Also, another good feature which I really do like is the kickstand at the back. So instead of having that little dinky kickstand that the old Switch has, this now has a wider and longer kickstand. And with this kickstand, you can now position it at any stand you want. So it's not just limited to just one position stand on the old Switch. So you can have it all the way out here. So if you want your Switch to have it standing like that, you can. Or you can have it a bit closer like that. So there's no limitation in terms of how far back your the stand can go, which is a good. Yeah, other than that, there's not really much big difference between the OLED and the normal Switch. So I'm going to go ahead and get my other Switch, and we'll just do a little quick comparison. So here is the old Switch, and here is the new Switch. And as you can see, obviously the biggest difference is the bezel. The bezel on this one you can really do see it's really thick. The new one, it's a lot more thinner. So obviously reducing the size of the bezel, it allows having a much bigger screen. In terms of the Joy-Cons, basically the same. Let me just quickly show you the layout of the buttons. So as you can see, the patterns and the buttons are a bit different, but they still function basically the exact same thing. You got your power switch, your volume controls, your exhaust fans, headphone jack, and the game card. But I feel like with the new Switch buttons, especially with the power button and the volume buttons, they're a lot more clickier compared to the old Switches. As you can see on the bottom, basically the same, nothing has really changed. So there's that. If we turn these switches around, so the OLED Switch is the colored, and this is the old Switch. As you can see, the design is a bit different, and like I said before, with the old one you had this little dinky stand. Basically it could only go up to here, but with the new one you can extend it and reduce it as much as you like. So there's no limits on how far back you want your stand to be. And hopefully it's a lot more durable as well. Now I'm just going to quickly compare the old dock versus the new dock. As you can see with the new dock, it's a lot more rounder. In terms of size, they're basically identical size. As you can see, this is the bottom. Basically it looks very similar. Obviously the inside of the new Switch is a lot more glossier, has a lot more gloss finish. The old one was just a standard plain black finish to it. This is the side view. Just looks a bit different in terms of the port colors, if you want to say that. Bottom view and other side view. And if we just look at the back, with the old one you had a hinge that you can open if you want to access all your ports. So there's that. So you had AC adapter, USB and HDMI out. With the new one, all you had to do was just open it, and you have AC adapter, HDMI out and LAN. So I guess because not many people use the USB port and more people wanted the Ethernet port, they just replaced the USB with the LAN port, which I think that's a good idea. And also this comes off, so this detaches from the dock. This one is hinged on. So one just little comment before we wrap up this video. The reason why I bought the OLED model was because my old Switch started bricking up on me. So every time I would just normally navigate through the software or the OS, it would just freeze, and then this error would come up, and it really annoyed me. And I tried hard resetting it, tried turning it off and on, and I was looking online, and apparently this issue, if the error, I checked the error number online, and apparently it's bricked. And so I had no idea what I did to it. I mean, all I pretty much use is to game. That's it. I don't use it for anything else. And I got this error, and it just, I had so much, I was super frustrated, and people were saying, oh, if you had this problem, you should send it, you should send this unit to Nintendo and it'll fix it and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, no, I don't really have time for that, because I reckon that would cause even more frustrations. So this is why I got the OLED model. But obviously, if this was still working normally, then I would never get the OLED model. Look, in terms of upgrading, I would probably upgrade just for a bigger, larger screen and a better display. Maybe a better kickstand as well if you like to use the kickstand a lot. But other than that, I mean, this is still a really good device. You can find this cheaper online. But I decided to go for the OLED model. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there's no errors or, I just hope it doesn't get bricked. That's all I'm saying. So just a little rant. Nintendo software is just not good at all. So that's it for this video. Just an unboxing, taking a first look at the Switch OLED, comparing it with the old Switch. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.